Hello lovely Flosstube and welcome to another episode. This is my Flosstube Bookish Pixie Stitches. My name is Ruth, also known as Pixie, which is partially where the name comes from. And this is my channel all about cross stitch and occasionally books and a few other crafts. But again, today I am purely cross stitch because I am not organised and I didn't think about the book element. Maybe next time I'll do a little book review as well. So I hope everybody is doing well. I have a few things for you today. First off is I have two, would you believe it, fully finished objects. I don't think I've ever had two fully finished objects for you. So I'm coming to you today on the 4th of October. This is video number 4 of my reboot / season 2. And I want to say a quick shout out to everybody who has subscribed to my channel recently. It is fantastic to have you here. Thank you so much for subscribing. I really, really appreciate it. Absolutely overjoyed to have you. And to all of you that have been here a while, also very much overjoyed to have all of you. Thank you so much for all the subscribes, the likes, the comments. It really does mean the world. And it's so nice to finally be making some traction with my cross stitch YouTube. So you've definitely all cheered me up. So thank you very much. So the first project I want to talk to you words. The first project I would like to talk to you about today is my Death Before Decaf piece by the Witchy Stitcher. Now, unfortunately, I do not have this project to hand because it was a gift for my friend Doug, who has now moved to Canada. Hopefully, the cover picture for this video will show that particular piece, and I will also attempt to put an image in here, but I make no promises because me and putting things into videos is a new skill. So if there is a picture here, I did it. If there isn't a picture here, I still haven't figured it out. But I completed that project and framed it a couple of weeks ago, gave it to my friend who really liked it, I'm glad to say. It's my first finish from the Witchy Stitcher. Really enjoyed it. It was stitched on 14 count Ada from Bloom Kitty Stitches or Bloom Kitty Studios on their Cafe Latte Ada. It was stitched 2/1 and yeah, really enjoyed it. So it's very strange talking about a piece I don't have to hand. So my second fully finished object is by Night Spirit Studios. This is my fully finished piece. I can't get my words out today. So this is Please Don't Summon Demons in the Bathroom. This pattern was a gift from a friend. So Jeanette, thank you very much. It is now fully, completely and utterly finished. I did actually finish the stitching quite some time ago, and it's been sat in my collection of finished pieces. And I thought I really need to get round to fixing that and actually framing it properly. I framed it myself. It isn't 100% straight. Sorry, my dog is going to bark. She likes to voice her opinions, so hopefully she won't do that too many times during the video. But yes, so this is now fully finished. As I say, I finished it myself. It's not the greatest finish because I was going to do the whole latching across the back, but it wouldn't have fitted in the frame if I'd done that. There was literally just enough space to get the fabric in and nothing else. So it's not completely straight, but it's very nearly straight. And once it's hung up on my wall, no one is going to notice. So again, this is by Night Spirit Studios. Please Don't Summon Demons in the Bathroom. Stitched 2/1 on white Ada. I couldn't remember then, with all the called for DMC threads. Okay, so moving on to whips. Now I'm going to have a job with this first one because this is Burrowtail Sal. I am up to date. They have released the penultimate section, which I have not started yet, but that was only released a couple of days ago, so technically I'm up to date. Now then, I am wondering how I'm going to show you this because I don't have a board today. I couldn't find one, so it isn't in a frame, so that's a start. But it is a big piece and it isn't ironed. I'm sorry, I am not ironing it until I finished it because I'm terrified of ironing. So I'm going to scroll it upwards. So this is my piece. Can I get it all in? Yes, I can. There we are. That's the full extent of the Burrowtail Sal. And I will give you a closer look at the newer sections if I bring it in a little bit. Please excuse my needle minder. So the more recent sections of this fox up here and the wolf down the bottom. So there's the fox with the mouse up the top, and then we have, hopefully you can see because I can't, the wolf section at the bottom. And then next to the wolf there will be space for Mr. Mole, but he hasn't gone in yet. And then we'll have the last section released soon. And there's a thread on this. I'm so sorry, I thought I had got rid of all of those. 1 minute. How dare you stick to my piece of cross stitch. Sorry about that. So yes, there we are. So this is stitched 2/1 on 14 count Purple Potion Ada from, I think, Lakeside Needle Crafts. I purchased this a very long time ago, so I'm not 100% sure where the fabric's from, but I think it's Lakeside Needle Craft. This is stitched using all the called for DMC, and I absolutely love this pattern. It is by Quaternion Creations. I'm gonna put it down because I'm getting armache. And yes, two more sections to go, and I will actually have 1 kept up and 2 hopefully have completed it, possibly by the next time I see you, which would be amazing. And I will actually iron it if I finish it, so that would be something to look forward to, wouldn't it? Okay, so my next 2 works in progress are both still in the hoop because I'm literally still working on them at the moment. I took Burrow Tails out of the hoop because I have to move it. So, and I told you the wrong thing. The mole doesn't go next to the wolf, it goes next to the fox. I'm awake this morning, sorry. I'm trying to be better at this. I'm not sure I'm succeeding, but I'm trying. Okay, so next up we have, oh, where did I put the cover images? There. Sorry, I have a whole pile of things next to me and it's just trying to work out where things are. So the next one I worked on has only had a small amount of stitching. I only worked on it briefly because it's on dark blue Ada, and lighting in October in Wales, forget it. It's terrible. Okay, so this is the piece that I'm working on. This is Mythical Tales. It was part of the Caterpillar cross stitch subscription box. I can't get that in any closer and it's not the most clear image, and I do apologize about the lighting. The sun, as it was last time I filmed, is doing that whole in and out thing. So this is stitched, as I said, on dark blue Ada. It is stitched 2/1 with all of the called for kit threads. Please excuse the needle minder. This, ooh, hang on, we need some kind of backing board. I'm going to use the back of the thing. There we go. This is what we look like currently. So as you'll see, there hasn't been a lot added to it since last time you saw it. We've got the flower this side and we've got an extra book. As I say, I picked it up for about half an hour and then decided that this is an absolute nightmare and I can't see it. So I need to get some kind of light or possibly just some white fabric to go underneath it when I'm stitching it. But I love this design and I really want to stitch on it. I think it's gorgeous. I love the colours. I love the way it looks. I mean, it's mythical creatures and books. How could you possibly go wrong? So really enjoying this. Hoping to spend a bit more time on it over the next couple of weeks. Now I'm not sort of monogamously stitching on just the one piece. But enjoying this. It was the first Caterpillar cross stitch subscription box. Say that 5 times quickly when you've had a drink. Or not. So this was the first one and I absolutely love this design. This was the design that got me hooked and into these subscription boxes, and I've been loving them ever since. So you'll see a theme because the second work in progress, it's had a bit more progress than Mythical Tales, but it is also from the Caterpillar subscription box. Caterpillar cross stitch subscription box. Good grief, I cannot say that. And this is their October piece. So this is Trick or Treat. This is what it will look like when it is finished. And I'm sure you will have seen this on a couple of other people's Flosstube. I know a few other people who are stitching it, including, I think it's Lindsay over at Cross Stitch Magic 111. I think it's her that I've seen stitching this. Or it could be someone else. I've watched too much Flosstube in the last couple of days and everybody's kind of moulded into one. But yes, so this is Trick or Treat. And again, I'm going to use the back of the pattern as my board. It is stitched on grey 14 count, I think, Ada, stitched 2/1 with all of the called for threads. Last time you saw it, we had the ore and the treat. So the cauldron, the pumpkin, and this little sweetie down the bottom are new. I have swapped out the white for, in theory, glow in the dark thread. I'm not convinced it glows in the dark, but we will see when it is finished. But I'm really enjoying this. I'm so chuffed that that cauldron is done because I'm so sick of black cross stitching, she says, thinking about something I've got to show you later. I think there might be more of it, but yes, this is where we've got to so far. As I said, all the kit supplies with the exception of the glow in the dark thread. Really enjoying this, working on this a little bit more because I'm hoping to get it done in time for Halloween so I can put it up and display it, but very much enjoying that. So those are all my whips for the past couple of weeks. I hope you've enjoyed seeing them. So I'm now going to move on to some thank yous and some shout outs. So firstly, a big thank you to Lindsay over at Cross Stitch Magic 111. Firstly, for the lovely shout out she did for me, and just in general to recommend her because she's fantastic. She has lots and lots of different projects. I really look forward to seeing her Flosstubes when they are released. And she also, as many of you will know, because many of you have already purchased from her, she makes her own needle holders. What are they called? Needle minders. Brain. So yes, she makes her own needle minders. They are available on her Ko-fi shop. I will try and link her below. Please go and have a look at both her Flosstube and her Ko-fi shop. She's absolutely fantastic. The next person I would like to recommend is Jen over at Jen's Stitchy Corner. Again, very good friends with Lindsay. They talk to each other and they recently met up at the Caterpillar Cross Stitch Retreat, which I unfortunately was not able to attend. I would like to go next year potentially, and I'm going to have to be very brave because in-person retreats terrify me. But we'll see. So Jen over at Jen's Stitchy Corner is a lovely lady, a fellow UK cross stitcher, has some beautiful pieces, including one that involves sheep and the aurora, and I think it's called Sycamore Gap, the piece, and it's by Lucy something. Pickens, possibly? Lucy Pickens? I don't know if I've got the name of the designer right. Apologies if I've got that wrong. But it's a lovely piece, and Jen also has lots of other lovely work, including a beautiful full coverage wolf piece, which I really like. As you can see, wolf fan. So go and check Jen out. Another person I wanted to shout out is at Counting My Stitches. That's Catherine. We recently met at Harvest Moon Hangout, which is a virtual retreat hosted by Lindy Stitches, which I will talk about a little bit more later. But Catherine has, again, some lovely projects. Very much enjoyed meeting her. It was lovely to catch up, and thank you for mentioning me in your Flosstube Extra. Much appreciated. I hope that we will get to see each other again at Jingle Ball, fingers crossed. And then, oh my goodness, other people to shout out. So I'm going to try and avoid doing my usual ones that I always do. So I've got a couple of other people. One of them is, now I normally shout out Adelaide Stitches, and she came into my mind because she's doing 31 days of Halloween stitching, which I wish I was doing, but I was not organised enough to get it together to do that. So I wanted to shout out Adelaide, although I've mentioned her before, because she is doing October dedicated to the wonderful spooky season that is Halloween. She's so inspiring. I absolutely love everything she's stitching. I mean, it's Halloween. But generally speaking, she's a really lovely lady from Australia. I very much enjoy her Flosstube, so big shout out to her. And then who else have I seen recently that's new? I'm trying to remember. I really have to learn to write these down because I think, oh, when I film my Flosstube, I'll mention X, Y, and Z. And then I sit down to film my Flosstube and guess what? They all vanish out of my brain. So there was another one I particularly wanted to mention and her name's gone. Right, job for next Flosstube. Write them down, Ruth. And then I will tell you all some more next time. But I will link those I've mentioned below so you can find them. Obviously, as I've mentioned before, Lauren at Cross Stitch Bunny, always a joy, always a pleasure. Garrett over at Coffee Stitcher, I love his videos so much. He's absolutely fantastic, and I was watching him last night, so he's in my brain. But there are others that I wanted to mention, but at the moment they have escaped my mind. Oh, Ducks and Crosses. That was one that I was going to mention. Ducks and Crosses, the lady's name's gone out of my head, but she is the daughter-in-law of Sarah from Sarah's Stitchy Corner. I think I've got that right. I hope I've got that right. But yes, she's another one that I've watched recently. She's got some quite unusual projects, including a project for Arsenal Football Club, which, you know, new to me. I've not seen that before. I thought that was quite interesting. So she's got some nice projects as well, so worth having a look. Okay, moving on to plans. Now, my plans are always a little bit obscure. I'm not the most cohesive with plans. However, obviously I want to continue stitching on Trick or Treat because I want to get that finished before Halloween if at all possible. Burrow Tales I will be doing the next section of, and hopefully getting to Mythical Tales. But I do have a couple of others that I'm hoping to possibly touch. Now, none of these, no, one of them has been started. Only one of them's been started, so I will start there. The first one I'm thinking of stitching on in October because it is spooky season, and as we all know, I am a Halloween fanatic. I mean, I could stitch Halloween all year, no problem at all. But the problem is I get distracted. So I have had this gorgeous kit from Owl Forest Embroidery for at least 2, if not more, years. This is Baba Yaga, and I'm giving you the image because it's on the front of the box and I don't have an alternative. But how gorgeous is this piece? Absolutely flipping beautiful. And I've had it forever. I'm fairly sure it's on linen. It is my only piece to my knowledge on linen. And it is stitched with all of the Owl Forest embroidery threads. Now then, can we get it out? I should have taken it out of this. Sorry, zip noise. Done. So this is where I have got to. Board. Sorry about that. Right, so, oh my goodness, she's been folded for too long and she's crumpled. But hopefully you can see. This is where I have got to with her. Yes, she featured in my whip parade. I really need to just sit down and stitch on this because I love these colours. I love the way she looks. And I really want to stitch that border because it's gorgeous. So, contender number 1 for October stitching is Baba Yaga. We love her. And one day I will finish her. I think the fact that she's on linen puts me off because it takes so much more concentration. And she is also the only piece of stitching that I have my threads on bobbins. I do not do bobbins. I do messes. Usually my threads are just bunged in the project bag with the project and not in any kind of nice, neat, tidy way because I am chaos, as I have described previously. And as you will have learned if you've watched many of my videos, organisation is not my strong point. Not only do I probably have ADHD, it's highly likely that I also have autism, and executive functioning and organisation are not this girl's strong point. Okay, next up, contenders for Halloween. This is easier because they are near enough all in packages. And what I would like you to do on seeing my potential plans, I would like you to vote for the project you most think I should work on. So Baba Yaga is number 1. The next one is a kit from Letty Stitch. Oh yes they do. This kit, this is going to get confusing. This is also called Trick or Treat. But if we say Trick or Treat Cats, because then I can differentiate from my other Caterpillar Cross Stitch Trick or Treat. This is another potential new start. Now, I'm not typically speaking a cat person. I am a dog person, but that isn't to say I don't like cats. My issue with them is that I'm allergic to them. So therefore I couldn't have a cat, which is a shame because they are very sweet. But this is another possible new start because my goodness, that black cat's expression, I just think she's adorable. And I love the little ghosty as well. So that's option number 2, Letty Stitch Trick or Treat Black Cat. Because that's just the cutest. Then we have another one by Letty Stitch in the same vein. So this is Boo to You. This is another potential new start. Again, it's Halloween. I love it. It's so cute. I've not done a Letty Stitch before, so it would be nice to give one of them a go. So this is number 3, Boo to You. And then I have 2 more potentials that are a bit bigger. So I can't believe I even managed to dig out the fabric and the thread for this. How brave am I feeling? Because this is Enchanted Quaker by Luminous Fibre Arts. I love this pattern. I have never done a Quaker. However, it's all in black. And I've done an awful lot of black stitching recently, so I'm not too sure. Because I bought the called for fabric, which is gorgeous. It is Stormy Night Belfast linen. I ordered this from 123 Stitch, so I obviously was very keen when I got the pattern to start this and then procrastinated. So this is the fabric, which is lovely. I mean, it's massive, so I don't know if I need this size for the piece, because quite frankly that's terrifying if I do, because that's huge. But I can't find the dimensions of the design on the pattern. It doesn't tell me how big a piece of fabric I need as far as I can see. So that's a bit of a concern. And then it's in the packet again, isn't it? The thread, the floss, is from Classic Colourworks. It is Black Coffee. So it is a mildly variegated kind of grey and black. So that's what it would look like. However, is this slightly uninteresting in terms of, do I want to do a more brightly coloured border, or do I stick with the called for? So I've got some questions about that. Or do I do the majority of it in black and then change the colours on a couple of the bits, which I've seen other people do, but I'm not sure. I'm not one for altering patterns normally. I'm normally a bit of a stick to the pattern person. But that's a possibility, but that's a big, big piece. So we'll see. So that's where do we get to? Number 4 is, what's it called? Enchanted Quaker. And then 5th option, again, not started, is this beauty. This, again, I think is, oh dear, don't tell me. No, it's not. It's called The Best Treat of All. For a minute there, I thought it was called Trick or Treat again. So The Best Treat of All, featuring these gorgeous doggies with their Halloween costumes. I mean, it's so cute, but again, it's very big. And I already have one Rendale on the go. So maybe, I have to admit, I am tempted. But let me know what you think of those 5. Which one would you pick to start for October? Or would you stitch on or start all of them? I probably won't do that because my partner will absolutely murder me. But let me know what you think. Let me know what your ideas are. There are some options for October, and there are so many more out there that I could happily stitch on, including the great big enormous, if I can ever find it, Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow. I would love to do that piece, but full coverage, enormous, lot of thread, lot of fabric, got to find the pattern from somewhere. That could be a thing. So not to mention a whole host of other ones from like the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery and various other places. I'm like, oh my goodness, there are too many patterns and literally not enough hours in the day for me to stitch everything I want to stitch. I mean, it's all of our problem, right? We all want to stitch more than we have time for or capacity for. But hey, that's part of the fun. So next up, as I mentioned earlier, attended the Harvest Moon Hangout virtual retreat, which is hosted by Lindy Stitches. I have previously been to one other virtual retreat, which was the Midsummer retreat, which was a couple of months ago. Loved both of them. Absolutely loved both of them. Now, This time we had talks from, and I'm not going to remember all of them, but Lola Crow. I'm never going to forget Lola Crow. Like, phenomenal. I absolutely love Lola Crow, even though I'm really bad at finishing all her patterns. Really very much enjoyed her talk, found it very informative. Completely failed at not buying more patterns. What a surprise. So I have one of her what do you call them, like special for that event, I can't think of the word, pattern. We also had oh no, I knew this was going to happen, I'm going to forget everybody's name. Stitchy Pros. The lady from Stitchy Pros, she came and spoke to us. She was lovely. I actually found out that I have her Cardinals pattern stashed away somewhere, which I didn't realise was by Stitchy Pros. So that was a nice surprise. And it reminded me that I need to start that pattern for Christmas at some point, along with a whole host of other Christmas patterns that are lurking in the wings. So I very much enjoyed her talk as well. And there's someone else that is lurking in the back of my brain who I can't remember. Oh dear. No, it's gone. Anywho, to be fair, that weekend I wasn't very with it. My brain was a bit all over the place. I've had a lot going on recently. Those of you that don't know, I'm actually getting married on the 31st of October on Halloween this year. So it's chaotic around here trying to get everything organised, trying to get my brain organised. Like, it's disastrous. Don't get two autistic people to organise a wedding, because it's interesting. But we are getting there. So hopefully it will all come together and it will be wonderful. But I'll be glad when everything is organised and in place. Let me put it that way. Looking forward to it, but also it's only going to be a small wedding. I don't do big and everybody's staring at me, so it's a small event. But hopefully it will be lovely. And we're getting there now. Near enough everything is organised, but it's been a lot. So that kind of affected me over the Harvest Moon Hangout event. So I didn't engage as much as I did at the Midsummer retreat. However, I did get to meet some lovely people. I am not going to list you all because my memory for names is terrible at the best of times. But to the ladies that I spoke to, particularly in the International Stitchers room, thank you, because you made my weekend so much better, picked me up off the floor. And I do have to mention PNW Stitcher, that's Olga. She does have a Flosstube at PNW Stitcher. Massive shout out to you, because she very kindly accessed the fabric for me. Being in the UK, it's very difficult for me to get the fabrics because stitching costs, shipping costs, even stitching costs. Freudian slip. But Olga, thank you so much. You are an absolute star, and you don't know how much it really meant to me and how much it cheered me up, so thank you. And I hope that you are also enjoying all of your stitching from that retreat and onwards, and hopefully I'll get to see you again at Jingle Ball too. But thank you to everyone I spoke to. It really was such a joy in so many ways. It was a pretty bleak weekend for me, for various reasons, including a friend of mine moving. It's been a bit of a rough ride recently. So to this community, I owe a lot, and I am enormously grateful. And I think that is probably, no, it's not. I have haul. I was going to say that's everything from me, but I have 2 things to show you. The first of which is from, now then, I've got to get this right, Canny Little Fox. She is a lady on Instagram who makes cases and project bags. This is one I've bought from her previously. You may have seen this before. This is where Baba Yaga lives at the moment. So this is my travel case, I think, or home case. It's one of the two. It has these gorgeous kingfishers on it. I absolutely love it. And inside it looks like, ta-da-da! So you have this plastic pocket, plastic fronted vinyl pocket where my stitching is living. I've got my pattern over here in another pocket. My fabric holders up here. I have usually got, no, scissors are down here. So there's a little kind of like fabric section for, you could keep your needles in there, and a little needle holder you could keep your scissors. We've got a little, what are they called? place for your floss odds and ends up here. But this is awesome. This is not what I bought this time, but this is awesome, so I wanted to show it. And it's very useful if you're going on holiday, or if you're, you know, wanting to take your stitching with you in the car. That's what I use that for. But what I bought this time, because I could not resist. This is one of her little mini cases. I'm sorry, the fabric is so me. I had to. I couldn't not. It is so darn cute. So witchy Christmas, very much up my alley. I love this. So this is her little mini pouch. It has, again, your floss bed and your little pocket. If you were doing like a little kit, maybe like one of those kits that you get free from a magazine, you could pop that in here, take it with you if you're picking up the kids from school, or if you're having to collect someone from something and you're waiting, or you've got a meeting that's running late, that sort of thing. This could very easily fit in a handbag. I have a feeling it's going to be going in my handbag, but I'm sorry, that fabric just I had to. So again, this is from Canny Little Fox. I will try and link her below. Go and check her out because she does some beautiful things. And she often does kind of specials on Instagram where she'll post something and the first person to comment is the person that gets that particular product. So love her work, very pretty. And the last thing to mention is that literally about 5 minutes before I started filming, I got my Caterpillar cross stitch subscription box for the month. So I thought I'd show you because, well, I have to. Those are the rules, right? So this month I received, I'm very excited about this. This is a chocolate snowfall lollipop. I think this is cute, and I am technically dieting, but this will get eaten. Yeah, so I have my little treat, my little edible treat. I have the cutest needle minder. Oh my god, this is adorable. I love this. So there's a little sort of Christmassy winter mitten needle minder, which I very much like. I also have in here some beautiful beads, which will go very well with the kit that is included. But how pretty are those? Little crystal sort of winter themed coloured beads. Love those. And then my new kit, which I probably also will start at some point, but maybe not until a little bit later because it is a Christmas one. This is the kit. This is Let It Snow. I love these colours. Blues and greens and purples are very much up my alley. So a little bit different for me. I'm not normally a sort of words stitcher, but something different to have a go at. So that is my little unboxing, if you like, my mini unboxing of my Caterpillar cross stitch subscription box. So that is all I have for you today, but thank you so much for being here. Please give this video a like, or if you'd like to leave me a comment, please do so. And if you're new here and you haven't done so yet, I would absolutely love you to subscribe because I am 4 subscribers away from 200 subscribers, which, although is a small milestone for many, for me that is immense, and I would be over the moon to reach 200. So if you haven't subscribed yet and you'd like to do so, I would be very happy to see you here. I hope that you have all had a lovely couple of days of stitching and that you have a lovely few more days of stitching, and I will see you in a few weeks' time. Bye for now.